A musty smell wafts from the rocky area beyond. Maybe there could be some water there. No sooner does the thought cross Trollus's mind than a monster attacks from the shadows. The rush of victory over the monster is short-lived, as there doesn't seem to be any water nearby. Muttering, "Water," Trollus stares at the defeated creature. The beast does seem to have a great deal of, well, liquid. With a great squelchy squeeze, Trollus wrings the fluid out of the creature's body. Trollus returns to the sand skiff and helps everyone drink some of the slime juice. Each, in turn, regains their vitality. The juice is faintly sweet and tasty. Polka asks, "Where'd you come by this stuff?" However, Trollus's reply leaves something to be desired. Squeezed it. Everyone drank. Everyone better. Polka inclines his head, deep in thought. But fruit is rare and hard to come by. The group decides to have Trollus lead them to where she located the sweet liquid. The group arrives at the place where Trollus obtained the liquid, but there seems to be nothing there. Did Trollus bring all of it back in one trip? As you mull your thoughts, Polka suddenly points. "Look there." You take a closer look and see that there are cracks running through the rocks. They just might break open if hit with enough force. Trollus winds up and swings at the rocks with all she has. With a cracking sound, the rocks break apart. You can continue on. Beyond the rocks, a barren waste stretches out before you. The party decides to press on through the arid expanse in hopes of finding a place to rest and eat. You've come across a river that is somehow fully ablaze. There won't be any drinking this water. Polka's curiosity is piqued. He shouts, "But water cannot burn. It defies scientific reason. Next to him, Trollus's nose twitches. She's evidently located something with her keen sense of smell. There might be food nearby. The party opts to trust in Trollus's nose and heads off in the direction she indicates. Ooh, You arrive in a city humming with life and bustle. There! Trollus practically falls over with excitement as she whips her hand out to point at the food stall. The stall is stacked high with fresh grilled meats, which are by all accounts the source of the smell she noticed. It's not just only at the food stall, but throughout the city that people seem to make a living using fire. Perhaps that is why the place is sweltering. Polka cannot hold back his curiosity. "I must inquire as to this comburant water," he says, zipping away. In fact, he zips off quickly enough that you and the others lose sight of him. Shrugging your shoulders, you decide to head off in search of him. You ask the stall owner if they've seen a bespectacled young man, but they shake their head and say that there have been no customers of that description. You stand before a handsome mansion. It doesn't seem likely that Polka is here. Try looking elsewhere for now. Heat, heat, heat. He who has the heat controls everything. Heat is everything, the man shouts. This city is hot enough as it is, but the man radiates fervor, making it all the hotter. You ask the man about Polka, and he replies in an encouraging tone. You'll find him, you will. It is essential that you never give up. The woman is lost in thought as she gazes at the flames from a distance. Love and fire are rather similar, aren't they? You find her incomparable presence so overwhelming that you are unable to even ask about Polka. The young man is mumbling something. Listening carefully, you put the snatches of audible words together. It sounds as though he is unhappy about the local aristocrat. Apparently, said aristocrat is monopolizing the tinder water supply and reaping massive profits from it. You ask the lad about Polka, and he answers quickly, he ran off toward the pet shop. The wise old woman offers cautionary words. You'd best be careful. The flame primal dwells in the lake of fire. You ask the woman about Polka, and she replies, why, he and I were speaking until just a short while ago. He's probably still nearby. You thank the woman and take your leave. You locate Polka in a state of considerable excitement as he observes a burning pond. He notices you a moment later and starts chattering rapidly. This town is incredible. They use this combustible water as an energy source to make their living. And what's more, he goes on without taking a breath. It doesn't sound like his rambles are anywhere close to finished. But then, suddenly, the sound of children weeping reaches your ears. It sounds like it's coming from a back alley. In the back alleyway, two emaciated children stand alone, with naught but the clothes on their backs. They look to be siblings. Great tears stream down the boy's face. Between sobs, he explains that their mother and father both died of illness. Orphans, not uncommon in big cities like this, Legol says. Something akin to a vice grips your heart, and you wonder if there is some way you can help them. You rummage around in your things for some food to give them. Alas, you have nothing that could fill their tiny bellies. You also remember that you're starving too, and your stomach rumbles in displeasure. You hit upon an idea. Why not ask the aristocrat making huge profits from the tinder water for assistance? A well-dressed man of clear sophistication and means emerges from the manor, and he seems willing to listen to you. You bring up the plight of the city's orphans. The man listens to your story and then hangs his head. I would love to do something, truly I would. But you see, my own child. He explains that his son is bedridden, stricken with an illness of unknown origin. The aristocrat's mind seems fully preoccupied with thoughts of his own child. You appeal to the man's better nature, tears welling up in your eyes. In reply, he sheds a single tear of his own. Would that I were a better man, the sort who could prioritize orphans over my own flesh and blood. At a loss, you look over at Polka. He catches your glance and then offers to examine the aristocrat's child. Polka explains that he has some medical knowledge, and the man practically leaps on him, desperate enough to cling to any ray of hope. It looks as though Polka will be performing an impromptu medical exam. According to Polka, the aristocrat's child has been poisoned. The man's jaw falls open. That cannot be. My household employs silverware that reacts to poison in food. You suggest the possibility that there could be a venomous monster nearby. At this suggestion, the aristocrat blurts out, "The flame primal. It exudes a toxic gas." Polka explains that if the source of the poison was indeed somehow the flame primal, it might be possible to craft an antidote from its body. And then, as though struck by an idea, he adds, and perhaps as a thank you for my doing so, we might discuss aid for the poor orphans of the city? Yes, of course. Seeing the aristocrat's immediate response, you can't help but be astonished by Polka's wisdom and negotiating skill. Upon leaving the manor, Polka explains, with no small amount of pride in his voice, "My own investigations indicate that the flame primal is in the lake of fire to the northwest of the city. It seems like his running about all over the city wasn't for nothing." With a deep bow of the head, the aristocrat implores you, "Please hurry and save my son. I will prepare your reward with all haste." You're quite surprised to see an open-air stall set up here. You poke your head into the stall just as the merchant within whips around to greet you. The merchant eyes you carefully. You're in a tough spot, he surmises. and slaps discount labels on all his wares. Live powerfully, he shouts out of nowhere, and begins deconstructing his stall. No more shopping for you, it seems. Battle time. Oh!